Ramon, good morning. You made it.
Hey, Mindy Hahn. Yep, just rebooting here and waiting for everybody to get into the chat. So happy that everyone's coming in early tonight with such a great card ahead of us with all the sports in action again tonight. And Mindy, what a difference 24-hour makes. And I'm not talking about our picks, but I could be. But I'm talking about the World Series. Huh? How about it?
Listen.
History was made last night uh, in the World Series. And oh boy, man, I think that led to the excitement. Nobody was tuning out of that one, because of the no hitter. And wow, the first no hitter. Most of the people here watching, whether they're younger or older, probably weren't around when uh, Don Larson struck out Harvey Keene. Everybody knows the famous Vin Scully call, but uh, again, a no hitter last night. Uh, and again, when I say turnaround, I could be talking about our team steam picks, but talking about the Philadelphia Phillies' fortunes going from 5 home runs like they couldn't miss. And yesterday they couldn't even get a hit.
Yeah, I mean, Javier kind of came out like maybe we anticipated, but we just thought that those bats would probably, be able to take care of things to even it out a little bit. And we knew the bullpens were, going to be equally tough. Hadn't, neither of them had been used all that much. So yeah, it was kind of interesting to see how all that, played out. But you still have, through that Astros lineup, they're not, still like you have Alvarez and stuff, still not hitting well. So it's not all the way through. It's kind of a couple, one-man shows, kind of occurring yet. But I think it still will be a good one here tonight. But yeah, I mean, I think there was a definite momentum switch in the game, in the series.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, well, like we said yesterday, I kind of led off the show by saying, wow, look, now the uh, favorites to win the World Series are the Philadelphia Phillies. But now all of a sudden we switched. Like I said, it was only going to take one game uh, uh, to put the Astros back as the favorite. I saw Mattress Mac getting into it was an older video from the previous game, getting into it, dropping f bombs, arguing with Philly fans. He was getting into the Philadelphia spirit, telling them to f you. But Mattress Mac is back on top, and good to see everyone in the chat. Thank you for coming today. We got some work to do, Mindy, with Team Steam. We need you guys today. So thanks everyone for joining us. We'll let everyone kind of get in, and we'll also recap, more of the card from yesterday. But we'll see what happens tonight. Like I said, Minnie, we'll preview the game in a little bit, but will Houston, back with Verlander. We know his struggles, but uh, Syndergaard, he's pitched 5 innings in a month, so I don't know where that stands either, and that's what we'll find out in just a few moments when we start our handicaps of our free complimentary rundown picks here on the morning steam. So we'll just talk about yesterday's card. Head on over to tonyspicks.com where you'll find our best picks every day, our premium picks over at tonyspicks.com. I went big yesterday, Mindy. I was hoping to, ride a hot streak, but ended up going 6-6 with my premium plays. I kind of felt lucky there yesterday, but we did have plenty of winners on the card yesterday, despite our woes here with Team Steam. So we want to get your help, chat, today. When we start breaking down these games, we want some comments on each game as we're going along if we can. But we'll talk about a few. Mindy, I had the Wizards yesterday and the over in the NBA. You had the Cavs in that thrilling game against Boston. Tatum had the late heroics, but then Cleveland was able to come through there. You also had the total over on the show yesterday. So a couple of winners there as well. I gave out the on my social media account the Kings on the road against Miami, and
Right.
So some winners there. You also had a winner, Toronto and San Antonio over. How about that one? Toronto scored what
43.
143 points yesterday. So a big pick there for you. And you also had a premium pick, Clippers Houston under for a nice winner yesterday. Also, Milwaukee. You had the Bucks, I believe, to
Yep, I took
roll
them. You said
against
too. I took them.
Detroit. Yeah, I gave it out on the show. That's right. Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. So we both kind of had that one. Also, you had Utah on the road against Dallas, and they looked pretty good all the way. Dallas actually came back, was covering for a short time, and then Utah ended up getting the money against the Mavericks in that one. I had a premium winner with Memphis on the road against Portland, and they barely got there. I mean, like I said, I went 6-6. I felt lucky to get to 6-6. But Memphis, went on Portland went on a 19-2 run, and I don't get too upset watching the games. I was like, what's going on here?
Right.
And also, I had the Lakers last night, believe it or not. Even though with Team's Team, we had a total on the total under. Team's Team picks didn't do too well, but I wanted to point
Well,
out.
if it didn't go into overtime, it definitely would have been under.
Okay, fair enough.
All they had to do was hit a couple free throws there, right?
And that's part of it. I mean, that's part of it. We understand that. We know that. And with, if everyone wants to put Matty Ice into the starting, into the, elite players in the league, a great shot. I mean, you're still the Lakers. You can't barely win a game right now. And that was just, what can you say? It was a lucky shot by the guy. He's become a fan favorite. He's kind of like some of these, you remember some of the Laker players, I don't want to say like guys like Rambus, but maybe guys like Mark Madsen or something where they become a fan favorite a little bit. He was, walking around after he made that three like he was the baddest guy in the building, and he was. That might have been his career moment right there. So why not?
Well, that's why they said they kept him on the team, right? He was the last man to join the roster, and that was because of his 3-point shooting. So hey, he's proven that he's worthy of that spot.
So I don't know if you have any other, comments on the NBA last night. Anything on that?
No,
card?
that was kind of the, because the games I watched was, Cleveland and, the Celtics. And then I wound up watching, the Trailblazers, the ones that were on, ESPN. And then on the NBA Network, I could catch a little bit of the Pelicans, Lakers, because I don't get them here at the Valley Sports. I get the Timberwolves. So yeah, I was like, damn, I would love to watch that game, but I just couldn't get it. Can't even find it streaming. I'm like, man.
Well, I'll hook you up with that information after the show. But I didn't know you had some issues picking up some of those streams. Anybody can DM me on my on my personal Twitter account. I can help them see. So I don't know. Let's not talk about that here. We might get in trouble. So also want to point out some winners on the ice from last night, Mindy. I had the total over in Philadelphia and Toronto as a premium winner, and you gave out the over yesterday, Pittsburgh and Buffalo here on the show. But I don't know if you have any comments on those games other than
I thought it was a great comeback by Buffalo there, to give the Penguins a 6th straight loss. Didn't necessarily see that one coming, and again they had to come from behind. They were 2 goals down in order to win that one. So yeah, and then Flyers, I had the Flyers, they were hanging in there. And then, just couldn't, all the way, finish her out there with Toronto scoring 2 right at the end. So wound up losing that one by 1.
I ended up splitting my premiums, and I thought the Philly game was gonna stay under, and I thought the Pittsburgh game might end up going, and I just ended up not doing that. So that's hockey, and we'll have a big hockey card. I see Latifah's excited,
ready to go.
Pardon me. Ready for that big hockey card, man. A lot of games we're previewing today with line moves coming up as well. So also in the Maction,
football games.
Yeah, in the Maction, my bad, Mindy. I should have been 4-0 in Maction this week. I had Central Michigan as a premium pick yesterday. I also gave out the total. We showed it on the screen at the time at 56. I feel bad with your push yesterday as a premium pick there at 57. when we talked about the game and gave it out, definitely we showed 56 on the screen, but we know that line had been going up, a couple points all week. So also in the other MAC game, I did have Bowling Green, and bad job of handicapping, as I gave it out at 4.5 when they opened one, it went to 2, went to 2.5, went to 3.5, and these were pretty much numbers that I could have had. Maybe couldn't have. I probably couldn't have got on the -1, but I
Right.
definitely could have got on probably -3 there. So bad job. That should have been better timing of the market. So that's what I needed there. And but I did give out the under in that game on the show. So that takes care of the MACtion. There's 2 games today in college football. We'll just touch on it briefly before we get into the complimentary free picks. But we do have a team steam pick. Pro Team Steam loaded right now on Tony'sPicks.com, and the videos for the 2 games tonight, where Mindy and I gave out picks on UTEP and Rice, Appalachian State, and Coastal Carolina in the big game in the Fun Belt. So those are the games in college football. We've already previewed those, and we're going to preview pro football tonight. We're taking the night off from college football, but all of our games through Saturday through I think it's through the 3:30 Eastern,
Correct.
1:30 Central, or 2:30 Central, 12:30 Pacific. Through those games already up on Tony's Picks YouTube channel. So all those previews are up there, including tonight's consensus play that we got to turn around a little bit. Mindy, let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com, take a look at the website where our premium picks are. And Collins 3-0 yesterday. Nick continues to roll with a 5-2 record. Sam came in with a couple of winners. Ben, for the last 7 days, the hottest capper. I'm still hanging 6-6, but a weekday dropped off, so I'm actually 2,200 there over the last 30 days here on Tony'sPicks.com. Take a look at what we have for today. Best bets on the website. Sam, Paul, Collins already loaded. Mindy, you got Thursday night, NHL, also college football, NBA,
Look at all
and
that.
NFL. Tell me about your without giving it away. You can
Yeah, I mean, my biggest play, of course, is in hockey today. I mean, but they're the loaded on the card, and so have 3 plays there in hockey today. Then I will have Thursday night football for the NFL. My best bet in NHL as well as the NBA on that 2-game card. Came out with a couple picks there.
And Tony's got his NBA best bet loaded, a strong side in the NBA from the boss, Tony T. So click on the All Cappers tab and find the handicapper that best suits your game. You can take a look at what picks they have up to offer, the type of packages they have at the time, just by clicking on their handicapper profile page. And on that handicapper profile page, you'll also find the records. And I'll just show some of my records like I do every day. Right?
Right.
Tony does it for me. We don't have to look at the records, but you can also check our previous results and see my mediocre day yesterday with some wins, with some losses. So we'll get back to the winning here tonight. So, all right, Mindy, I think that's a good coverage of what's going on at Tony's Picks. We'll come back a little later and take a look at some other things, but we got to get rolling. I think everyone's here waiting. We've got now a dozen in, so I think that's good enough to start rolling with the free picks rapid fire rundown. Mindy, we're gonna take a look at Philadelphia and at Houston. Well, no, wait. Houston at Philadelphia.
There you go. You got it.
Both those. What a unique situation with the World Series and the NFL Thursday night game. But we're going to get to the NFL in a few moments. Since we're going to cover some of the Sunday card, we're going to save NFL for last. We're going to go Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL, and then NFL. So we are definitely starting with Houston and Philadelphia, with Verlander and Syndergaard. Mindy, one thing I did want to mention I didn't cover in our recap, though, was I had Houston. as a premium play winner yesterday.
Did you now?
Uh,
Look at you go.
yeah,
I didn't even
came back.
notice, Ramon. I should have went and looked at your all cappers tab.
I came back with Houston yesterday and Javier. I rolled with Javier a lot, especially I think I probably took him 2 or 3 times on the afternoon show
Right.
during the season. And I think last night he proved himself as one of the elite pitchers in Major League Baseball. So that's really why Houston is. That was a great rally, and maybe Nola was feeling some of the effects or pressure. Seemed to get in the kind of the same type of trouble that he was in those other 2 previous starts, and you know a good team like Houston, for what it's worth, if they weren't hitting or whatever, I mean, they're the team that has all this postseason experience, and they were doing exactly what they needed to do against Nola to get the bases loaded, and then against the Philly bullpen, which, for all those great inning streaks, that was not necessarily the Philly bullpen that we saw throughout the whole season, just that they were very good here in the postseason, and they got it caught up to them a little bit. Maybe some of the residual effects of what we saw from game one. I know we're almost a week out from that game now, but here again, looks like with Syndergaard, Verlander could struggle and still go a number of innings. If
Correct.
Syndergaard struggles, gonna have to
Won't
get
go
him
more
out of
than
there.
4 innings. Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I was taking a look at this, handicap as well. Verlander is 0-6 in the World Series, in his career so far. Until yesterday's game, the Astros had been shut out in about 13 innings. But yeah, I mean, I think Verlander today, his goal has to be to get through the 6 innings, to go a little bit longer, in that. Just to go ahead and give the bullpen a little bit of extra rest. I think the bullpen's going to come in. They'll probably be stellar, but it's going to be interesting to see how Verlander shows here as well. I think it might be something similar to the last time Verlander started game one there, where it was 5-6, lots of runs scored. I'm kind of anticipating that again here today. With Syndergaard, I think he's probably not going to go more than 4 innings or so. And then that's going to leave everything up to a bullpen game, basically. And I think they're going to be no holds barred out there. I don't know. I've been kind of staying away from the side. I haven't been, really hitting that. I've been doing a lot better, on the totals, just because there's big ebbs and flows here in this series. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the over 7.5 runs here today.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Verlander in the world. Yes, I mean, maybe some nerves. Still, no matter even if you're Justin Verlander, the other team in the other dugout is one of the best teams in the league. It's one of probably 1, 2, or 3 with right along with your team, right? And because of his ace status, he's often faced the other team's number 1 or number 2 pitcher as well. That's not the case here tonight, right? So. I don't necessarily like the price on Houston in this game. I think the value is Philadelphia here. If I were looking to bet the side, I probably would go with Philadelphia here. I may come in with a premium. I don't know. Right now, I'm not completely sold on Philly after what happened last night. I agree. Big mismatch in the pitching department. But Verlander, he does show the susceptibility in these World Series games. Philadelphia's done a nice job when they've got the bats going. Javier, he's got some serious hops on his pitch. I mean, that was a dominating performance. And funny, they're panicking. 84 pitches, got to get him out of there. And usually when you've got a no hitter going, you're like 95. Well, I think you have close, more pitches, a few more pitches than that. But again, you're not gonna. I guess even with a lead like that, you're not gonna. You got a good bullpen. It's the World Series. I get it. Was cute though when he told the reporter that his parents told him he'd pitch a no hitter. Right. Wasn't really too far from the truth. But anyways, I'm going to agree with you. I think we're going to see the over tonight. Syndergaard, this Phillies are going to have to, come up with a monster effort out of the bullpen here. I think, Mindy, tonight in order to, compete in this game, and maybe we're finally going to get that slugfest. I actually, I think I said over on the show last night, and you know, uh, even though I'm big on Javier, and that's who I was kind of basing my pick on. But again, it got 5 runs early and no more
Right.
runs the rest of the game. So Philly couldn't even get through those guys in the bullpen. Record incredible performance. But tonight, let's go over
All
seven
right.
and a half with Houston and Philadelphia. We got a losing streak to break. We know that. We get it.
I know.
Team. So appreciate everyone joining us today on the show. That's a look at the World Series. Houston has the home field advantage. They're going back home no matter what. So
It's a big game for them.
did hear that right. Yesterday was the biggest game. You're right. Really, I mean, yesterday was the biggest game for Philadelphia. I tried to sell it like this was. Yes, this is now. But now looking back on it, you're right. That was the biggest game for Philly because supposedly they had, an equal pitching matchup on the mound. Now, we didn't know that Javier was going to be,
Right. That
you
good.
know, Don Larson or Sandy Koufax or something in the game. But nonetheless, he had the incredible performance, and Nola was the one that, ended up struggling. But that was the game that supposedly Philly would have been able to match tonight. They're going to have to beat Verlander again. Yes, his poor World Series, we get that, but no indication that Justin Verlander, is going to be anything less than ultra competitive. I guess I could say if he struggles or whatever, if he ends up getting, I don't think we're looking at like a first inning exit, right? I mean, it'll be like something through the second time, and that's where Verlander's kind of struggles when he started to go through the second time in lineup, starts to get cute a little bit with the pitches, and that's where Philly was able to capitalize. So in other all right, the dogs might be working.
Jeez, I guess
Tonight, Houston. All right, we're going to go next to NBA. There's just 2 games on this Thursday night, and we'll save the NFL Thursday night game for our NFL coverage here in just a little bit. So let's head on over to the NBA where, the matchups aren't too great either. They might be interesting. I'm going to sneeze here. Might be allergic to home underdogs here. But we'll start with the Golden State. At Orlando, I mean, I guess Golden State's a good team is what they tell me. I see a team that can't win on the road, so I have a lot of questions. This line has already gone up to 9. It's actually even juiced. The total is up to 227.
Yeah, and just haven't really been able to cover the spread thus far, even though they're getting those wins under their belts. I mean, I'm going to take a look at the under. Not so sure about this, side here today. It's 10-4 in the last 14 here in Orlando. 5-2 the last 7 meetings overall to the under. Magic under in the last 7 Thursday games also, and the last 11 out of 16 following against the spread loss as well. I also take a look at this under because you got Orlando here. They do have some injury issues, also 28th in scoring offense. I'm going to take a look at the under here, Ramon.
All right. Yeah, I mean, the total keeps going up, so Mindy's got to play it right now here, kind of at 227. So I don't know. Maybe if anybody wants to tail Mindy in this game, you might wait. I mean, it's open 225.5, and now it's 227. It could, maybe it'll go higher. I mean, we just saw a move within the last hour or so, and Scotch coming in with some great stats here. Warriors and their poor defense. He likes the Magic tonight. I'm looking for help from the chat, so maybe I can get on the Orlando Magic tonight. No, look, we know the Warriors not winning on the road. They're 2-6 against the spread, but Orlando's no good. They're 1-7 and 2-5-1 against the spread. But you know where those spread wins have come? At home. And the Warriors with that 0-4 road record, they're not playing good defense. Like Scott said, they're 6-1-1 to the over. Minnie, that does kind of worry me here. But I know you're banking on Orlando not being able maybe to I'm
Put some points.
just saying they're gonna play some defense, but I'm gonna take the 9 points. Can't pass it up. I don't think it's some you know motivational game for Golden State here. They'll be lucky to get out with a win. I'm going to take Orlando plus 9 and agree with Shard, agree with it looks like Scotch. So Mindy says go under 227. I'm going to say take Orlando plus 9. All right, another one that isn't too great on paper. You have the Nuggets here, favored on the road. They're now up to 6.5. The total's dropped to 228.5.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the total here in this one as well. I have this coming in 3 points under the total. Head to head, the Under's 3-1-1 last 5 meetings, 5-2 in the Thunder's last 7 home games there as well. I know that they did go and put up 239 last time out, but OKC here they're playing really good defense right now. I think they're going to be able to limit this one here today. I'm going to look towards the under, but I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, last 5 meetings between the two have gone under. So, OKC just 4-3, but 6-1 against the spread so far. Thunder making money. Meanwhile, Denver just a 1-3 straight up record on the road. Can that be right? So, or OKC's actually been winning games at home. At 6.5, that might be good enough for me. I'm going to have to take another home dog. I just got to take another home dog. Ugly matchup. I'm going to take OKC. Maybe Denver gets this win, but like I said, right now they're not looking so great on the road. And OKC, they're getting numbers. I mean, that's the thing about that might be our moneymaker here this season. So you said, Mindy, go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said to the under in this one, and
Under.
you had the Thunder.
Under, thank you. Yeah, okay, got it at 2. Oh, that's what it was. I don't have the graphic on the screen. That's why I got a little bit lost. 228.5. Mindy says go under in both Thursday night games, and I say take OKC plus 6.5. Okay, that's it. 2 games on Thursday night. Not the most thrilling of the card, but now we're going to get to Latifah's favorite part of the show, especially when there's a hockey card of 13 games. We're going to be here all morning with hockey, and that's fine by me. Wherever the winners are going to come from, I'm down with that. Big hockey card today. Let's start to get into it. I want to get my goalies ready here as we get going, Mindy, so see if anything's been confirmed out there, and get it rolling here. So, all right, let's take a look at the first matchup here with Carolina and Tampa Bay. In this one right now, as I'm showing these odds that I have typed in early, were about 90 minutes ago. Tampa Bay is down to minus 115, and the total is 6/15.
All righty. So we got the Hurricanes. They're 6-2-1 on the season. Last game winning versus the Capitals 3-2. Lightning 6-4, won last time here versus the Senators 4-3. Hurricanes, they're third in goals against 25 with 25, where the Lightning they're ranked 14th with 31 goals allowed here as well. Hurricanes 7-2 in the last 9 on 2 days rest. I'll take the Hurricanes here plus money.
All right. Yeah, look, this looks like a sharp move to me on the Hurricanes, Mindy. Tampa Bay obviously not getting off to a great start so far, maybe what we're expecting from them with their mediocre start so far. They are 14-4 against Carolina at home in the last 18, but Carolina, you mentioned it, 4-1-1 record on the road. I love road teams that can win. 9 of the last 11 meetings in Tampa Bay have gone under, but man, I don't know. There could be some goals tonight. I'm thinking Carolina might be able to score tonight in this one. I'm going to agree with you, though. I'm going to take Carolina in this one. Let's go with a consensus play. Looks like Anderson and Vasilevsky I'm not seeing anything that might indicate a different goaltending situation here. Very sharp move, Mindy. This one opened as high as Tampa Bay minus $1.40. So we're not getting the best price, but it just seems like an ultra sharp move. So Scotch is on it with us. Also looks like Matt. I don't know if he's saying good teams on the road here. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I look for. If that's what you mean, I look for teams that win on the road, especially in the National Hockey League. So let's go with it, Mindy. We've got Carolina for better for worse. Come on, Hurricanes on the road against the Lightning. A VGK here on the road. Another red hot team. Could they be the best in the West right now? Logan Thompson, Anton Forsberg might be in goal here. I'm showing Vegas. Indeed, $1.30, 6.5, under 16.
Yeah, well, the Golden Knights, they're 9-2, won their last one against Capitals 3-2. And then lost to the Lightning 3-4, of course. But Golden Knights, they're 5-1 against the Senators off a win in the last 6 games. Golden Knights here also first in goals against at 19. Golden Knights are 7-1 last 8 played on 1 day's rest. Also, favorite 6-0. I'll take the Golden Knights in this one, laying the minus 130.
Seems like a good price. I mean, it was as high as 140. So, I mean, I want to take the Golden Knights too. Right now, they just seem like they are playing as well as any, right now up there with the Bostons of the world, right? So they are, you mentioned their 9-2 record, also 4-1 on the road. So only one of their losses has come on the road. They're getting great goaltending. They're 1-7-2 to the under so far. Ottawa 4-1 on the puck line. It could be a close game. 4-1 on the puck line at home, I should say, for Ottawa. But VGK has won 6 straight meetings in this one, you say? So let's do it, Mindy. 2 for 2. Look, I mean, I don't want to say we're digging out of a hole from yesterday, but if I've got the pick, we're going with it. And, it's my fault. I mean, not my, I don't want to say, I don't know how to say it. I mean, I don't want to say my fault for agreeing with you. You lay out the pick. I already know what I like, at this time in the game. So, maybe I should have pivoted. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, obviously it would have been to fade whatever. I don't want to say it like that. I mean, we took our lumps yesterday. We're going to get it back in the National Hockey League today. All right. Washington and Detroit here. With Washington, they are about $1.20 on the road and 6.5 under 15. Sure enough.
Yeah, and again, Capitals are coming off that loss to Golden Knights that we just talked about, and then they lost in the blowout to Buffalo 8-3. Capitals 14-2-3 versus the Red Wings over their last 19 games. Capitals, though, they're 13th in goals in the NHL. Red Wings 21st. I like Capitals here. They're 6-0 in the last 6 meetings in Detroit. I'll take them here minus 120.
All right, yeah, well, Washington 7-4 on the puck line, but Detroit 3-1-1 at home does kind of worry me. Detroit hasn't been, we know they haven't been great. They've been maybe a steady improver over the last season and a half, 2 seasons, trying to regain some Detroit form, the all-time greats. So, hey, Rem Most, oh man, we've got a legend. I mean, let me tell you, Rem Most, he's been around these parts in some of these chat rooms. I've seen him all over, so it's an honor to have Rem Most in our chat. I've seen him in other real top popular YouTube sports shows. If I'm not mistaken, Rem Most, forgive me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure you've been around the YouTube handicapping sphere. So anyway, let me just
we're here, but live every Saturday through Thursday at 8 a.m. Central, so you can find us almost every day.
Great, and that's why we've I don't know when it was okay, same one. It is Rem Most, and that's why I've decided I've decided, I don't say like that, but when they said, "Hey, why don't you get a show together?" I said, "Okay, but I want to go on, even if it's against my better judgment, to come on at 6 a.m. Pacific time." So I want to be the first on YouTube, and here I've gotten suckered Mindy into coming on at 8 o'clock in the morning her time, so we could be the first here on YouTube with our daily preview show. So, anyways.
Yeah, and I told Tiffany that she needs to come on the show, and so so there she is. She shows up in the chat, so she's
Okay.
watching. Hello.
Yep. Hey, maybe she could be, if she doesn't have time to visit us and she's checking in with us, she can moderate the chat sometime. But all of our favorites are here today, no doubt about it. Let's get back. Mindy, you did say take Washington. Washington 6-0, their last 6 against Detroit, you said. Wow, that's pretty interesting. This series has been pretty much an under so far, but I don't know. I have a feeling there's going to be some scoring in this one. I don't mind necessarily the 6.5 here. I'm going to go over with Washington and Detroit in this one, expecting actually now Kemper and Husso in the goal. I kind of want to change it before we get out of here on this game and show I think maybe the more likely goalies in this one with Washington and Detroit. I'll still take the over 6.5 as my free play on Thursday night. All right, Boston, here they are. They're taking on this. What can you say? This is a hot matchup, I would say, one of the featured matchups on the card here tonight with Boston and the Rangers. Boston continuing to roll. We saw what happened against Pittsburgh. Mindy Shesterkin is the confirmed goalie. Maybe it's going to be Ullmark. I really thought they were leaning Swayman as a likely, but maybe they're going to feel compelled to come in with Ullmark here in this game, just because it's a good game. It's a big game. You're playing the Rangers on the road. But what's your preview?
Yeah, I mean the Bruins are 9-1, won their last one out, versus the Penguins here. Rangers defeated the Flyers 1-0. Rangers, they're 31st in shooting percentage, 7.98%. Bruins ranked first in penalty kill percentage there as well at 94.6. But I'm going to be taking a look here at the under. I think we're going to have some good, goalie play here tonight. Unders 4-0 in the Rangers last 4 at home. Rangers also have a little bit of trouble scoring. And the Bruins are, pretty good on the old power play here. So I'll take the under 6.
Scotch coming in.
Right.
Under has hit 7 of the last 10 games. I think it's even more than that. I think it's like 10 out of 13 too. Rangers 3-8 to the under this year. Look, Boston terrific with that 9-1 record, 7-3 against the puck line. Rangers 6-3-1, but just 4-7 against the puck line. That shows me a little something here. Kind of puts me on the Boston side, possibly. I know that maybe they're 9-1. They're an underdog in this game, interestingly enough. But Mindy, Boston Rangers. That was going to be I kind of want to just give up. Let's take it under. We need to win tonight with our consensus plays. So let's take the under. It was a premium for me.
I know, right? I feel bad for taking your under.
Well, look, I don't want to say it like this. I mean, we're responsible, you and I, for the record, for our record here. Obviously, I've been able to put together a great season so far. Let's get a winner tonight. Boston Rangers under. A lot of my model has 5.5 with either goalie going. So let's take under. Let's keep this rolling right now. Seattle at Minnesota. In this one, and this has been a big move to Seattle off of some openers that saw it as high. Martin Jones probably going to be in there for Seattle, not the backup, I'm thinking, but Fleury will be in there. So we'll see. But Seattle, they're one of the big stories in the league, I'd say, so far in a way, with their decent start. So they're taking on here Minnesota minus 165. Total is 6.5 over 15.
Yeah, agree. I mean, Kraken, having a good season here thus far. I mean, for the Kraken, anyway, right? Winning record here so far, 5-4-2. Coming off a 5-4 win over the Flames. Wild, they're 5-4 as well. last one over the Canadians. But I'm going to take a look at the Wild here in this one at home. I think they're just going to be too tough. They're 9-1 their last 10, versus Pacific here. I'm going to take the Wild, and I'm kind of happy that it's come down to minus 165. I mean, it was as high as minus 190 there as well.
Yeah, definitely. I show it, as a pretty big move on Seattle. So I think the action actually is pretty sharp. Seattle 7-4 on the puck line. Minnesota just 4-6 on the puck line. Teams are combined 12-8 to the over this season. Although Minnesota has gone under in 4 of their last 5, but I think in this one we're going to end up seeing some goals scored. My free play is going to be on the over in this one with Seattle and Minnesota. Montreal and Winnipeg in this one. Winnipeg on the road, pretty big favorite here, minus 210, 6.5 under 25.
Yeah, these 5-5 Canadians lost to the Wild 4-1. Last one out. Jets here 26th in goals for, 26th. For the Canadians here. I guess they're 21st overall, not 26th. But I'm going to take a look at the under in this one. It's 4-1 the Canadians last 5 road games, 6-1 the Jets last 7 home games here as well. I tend to kind of maybe lean a little bit towards Montreal getting an upset here in this. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the under.
And I think that we can say that both of these goalies are confirmed here, it looks like, for today's game. So Mindy goes under the 6.5. I definitely think she's getting the best of the money here because, there were early six over 25s out there, but I'm showing mostly 6.5 right now across the board currently. And got to be honest, I was looking at the over at 6, but I don't think I want to get involved with the 6.5. Yes, the series is 18-8 to the over in the last 26 meetings, but the teams are a combined 5-12 to the under. Montreal 5-2 the last 7 meetings are a big dog here, and on the puck line plus 1.5 minus 140. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to take Montreal on the puck line today, plus 1.5 minus 140 against Winnipeg as my free pick.
I like it. Remember, I like it.
Appreciate everyone in the comments, and we're going to get to that Islanders and Blues. Hey, Love Jones, nice to have you. Welcome. Haven't had a chance to meet you, and welcome. So let's start the Islanders versus the Blues with Love Jones's comment, Mindy. Love Jones says, Islanders versus Blues. Who wins? Well, we know that in the game, the Blues are the favorite, minus $1.15, 6 under 15.
Yeah, but I think the Islanders win this one, right? Islanders, they're 6-4, won their last one against the Blackhawks. Blues now lost, 5 in a row? Last one being a pretty tough one to the Kings, 5-1. Islanders have won their last 4 games, scoring about 4.5 goals per game in those. Blues, on the other hand, only putting up, 1.5 on average. Islanders 5-2 in the last 7 here with the Blues as well. I'll take the Islanders, especially if I can get a little plus 105 money. I think that's what I was looking at.
Yep, Islanders right now, they mentioned that 6-4, and they're also 7-3 on the puck line here. And Scotch is going to chime in, saying taking 5 of the last 7 games against St. Louis. With St. Louis struggles lately, he says, give me New York at even money. I will mention this, though, even though the Islanders have won 5 of the last 7, they've only won 7 of the last 10 games in St. Louis. But again, this is an Eastern Conference, Western Conference. They meet a little bit less than other opponents. So St. Louis 3-5 overall and 2-6 on the puck line this season. So I don't know. Right now, I'm going to have to take a pass. I don't want to disappoint Love Jones. Let's go with Mindy as a pick here solo, not a consensus play. Mindy says take the Islanders. I was looking for a different price here, I think, and kind of caught me by surprise. in this one with the Blues. Because like I said, I mean the Islanders have been playing well, and the Blues. I didn't know they. I necessarily think they'd come as a favorite here. So Mindy says take the Islanders. I've got to pass.
Womp womp.
The Kings, the Red Hot Kings, are going to be on the road here against Chicago, and man, the Kings $1.70 total 6/15. The Kings looking good, but Chicago hasn't been terrible.
No, I mean Chicago plays, I think decent at home. They've been hanging in there within, puck line range here usually. But I'm going to take a swing at the Kings here. The Kings 6-6 lost their last one to the Stars. Did have the Stars in that game. Blackhawks, they've lost 4 in a row now. Just got beat up pretty good by the Islanders. They're 3-6-1 against the Blackhawks over the last 20. Also, the favorite in this meeting's been 4-1 the last 5. I like the Kings. I had them at minus 165, but 170 is still okay.
I like them too, Mindy. I mean, Chicago is 5-1 on the puck line at home, so maybe it'll be a close game. Kings, obviously, we know they're scoring. The teams are combined 14, 4, and 2 to the over this season. So, young. Oh, I'm the wrong game there.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we get the right comments on the right game. Sorry about that. LA's been doing well, though, also on the puck line this season, and LA has done pretty well against Chicago, like you said, winning 10 of the last 13 meetings. So not a great price, Mindy, at $1.70, opened about $1.50 or so, but I like the Kings to keep rolling right now. I like what I see. I mean, they're a team that always gets one of my screens because I'm a Kings fan.
Right.
They're a team that I watch a lot, and I'm going to consider taking them here. Looks like the Blackhawks have maybe opting for Soderblom here, while LA may be going back to quick. Peter
said it doesn't really matter.
But maybe it doesn't. I mean, you'd think on the surface, right? You're still. I mean, Quick is still the Kings start, but not right now. Peterson's a better goalie, I think. I think Quick gets number 1 billing, still fair and square. That maybe he'll. You wonder when it's going to end for Quickie, but you don't want it to end. I mean, you want him to keep going, but Peterson right now playing very, very well. He's been the better goalie, I think, statistically out there. But yeah, I think because of Quick's experience, still his potential to have big games, you could rate them even right now, maybe a negligible difference between the two. But I love the way Cal's playing in goal as well. So. All right, we're on another one there. So,
all right,
pressure's going to be on. Pressure's going to be on Mindy tonight. That's for sure. And that's the way I like it. I like when the pressure's on. Maybe I got a little too cocky yesterday on the show when we were coming off our big day. I don't want to say I jinxed us or anything like that. I don't believe in that.
Well, I know it's kind of sometimes you're like, do I put that negativity out into the universe? And everyone always tells me, no. These games, all you're doing is putting a pick, and you can't dictate what these players do here.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I try to be Mr. I come in with a kind of a crooked eye on everything. Anyways, like who's trying to pull a fast one on me over there out there with these odds, and so I come in kind of docile a little bit, and I got you here to perk me up every morning and make sure I give out the best information possible, and that's what we're doing here on the Mornings Team. Okay,
exactly.
New Jersey and Edmonton as we start to really move out west now, and when this one we got Edmonton Campbell, and with let me fix my little graphic because I'm a perfectionist, and Campbell, though, we favorite here. Edmonton, $1.60, 6.5 over 40. There have been 7s, and there may even be 7s showing out there at minus $1.25 or 30. So,
well, I mean, I handicapped this one with a 7. It's the battle of the 7-3 teams. Devils there beat the Canucks. Oilers beat the Predators. Oilers here, they're 4th in, goals for at 41. Devils are 7th at 36-4 as well. Both these teams have hit the over their last 2 out of 3. head to head, I think I'm going to go ahead and take the over. I had it over 7, so I'll take that over 6.5.
Yeah, I think we're seeing about 50-50 out there. And again, either way, I mean, you're going to pay about the same juice. I mean, look, I know that some people might be at books where I don't know how many books are out there anymore that really limit you to the one option, unless you're playing like at a paperhead or something like that. So, maybe that's where if you have a certain limitation. I mean, I'm in California, so I've got to. I'm watching this. I bet offshore. Again, we're not going to pass sports betting. We don't like sports
I
betting
can't
here
believe that. Like, I
in
seriously can't believe it.
California.
I'm
Uh,
like, even Iowa here, we can get sports betting with our casinos and with, BetMGM and the apps and such. They don't let me do any of the fun DraftKings thing, but other than that.
it's weird, right? Because here
Yeah.
you can do DFS, and the laws are just so bizarre. Doesn't feel like a free country when you can't sports bet. So, anyways, I don't know. I don't want to bag on any Californians in the chat. I'm a native Californian, but uh, I don't think that the people actually looked into it and said, "Oh, the money's going to a terrible cause." Let's the pollsters say the reason why most people are voting against it is because of the bombardment of the ads. There
Really?
were just too many
You
ads,
turned off, huh?
so they're turned off by that. So they say no sports betting. And in the meantime, and I get it. I mean, maybe there's only a third of the public even interested in making a sports bet. So that's why, it comes down to that. So, anyways, I don't want to get off the subject here. You talked about this, and I did change the goalie there. Looks like could be Skinner for Campbell. That might help. That might favor you a little bit, Mindy. I would think bringing in the backup there. We think Jack is good. Skinner can have his moments, but over 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. New Jersey playing well on the road, no doubt about it. And again, like I said, I mean, there were some sevens out there. You could take it at this juiced up 6.5. I don't know. I'd probably, if it got, at 7, even if it's the juice is a little less, maybe I might go against you even, but only because I usually do on big numbers like that. But I agree. I mean, I think it could easily be a higher scoring. Look, good teams, right? Good teams so far. Surprise teams, if you will. So New Jersey 1-5 at Edmonton, though. Yeah, they don't play that frequently, but tough trip always for New Jersey, all the way out west. I'm going to take Edmonton as my free play here. Take Edmonton, pretty hefty price there at $1.60, but I'm going to take them as my free play. Mindy says go over 6.5. Great comments there in the chat. Great to see you. So Rem says hard to click the over on a 7, yeah, because you got to get to that 8. That's the big thing. So I don't have a problem in hockey. The key to winning, and again, here comes Latifa says she likes Edmonton as well. So now I feel a lot better about it.
Yes.
But the key to winning, Mindy, I don't know if anybody just the key to winning in sports bets is winning. So if you feel confident about the game, I understand, laying the juice, it can be difficult when buying those goals. But don't forget, you can counter that by doing some, opposite plays, some alternate plays. When you feel confident about a game, why not, pay the price? Like you said, if you could take a 7 here, if you really thought, man, I like this game for 8 or 9 goals. Well, maybe I'll take a 7 and take that plus money. Maybe I'll take over 7.5 at plus 135 on this particular game. It's when you continue to lay the juice that really is kind of the problem. So as long as you're mixing in enough dogs, that should work out for you if you're doing a good job with your handicapping. So, okay, good. Good interaction there, though, from the chat. That's why we're here, Rem. Again, appreciate you, man, out there. Good comments. Nashville and Calgary here. Calgary minus $1.95 now, 6.5 under 15, and I'm showing Calgary probably going with Markstrom.
All right. So I'm gonna take a look at the Flames. I don't know, what did you have for a money line on them? I missed that.
Mhm.
So it's even gone up a little bit. Because I had it at minus 185. again, it's one of those
Plus
like I don't like.
95, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those like, I don't really like to play like these big money lines here, but I don't really see the Flames, winning this one here on the puck line. If I look at the total on this one again, I have this like right at the number, so it's hard for me to go ahead and pick here. So that's why I'm going to give out this big money line. I'll take Calgary here, minus 190.
All right. Yeah, Nashville. I mean, I kind of want to favor them, but they're 2-8 on the puck line. But they've won 5 of the last 6 meetings at Calgary, and 4 of the last 5 overall. It's interestingly kind of a good series for Nashville. Latifa says take that puck line with Nashville. I kind of want to in a way, but man, I'm just not sure. So, but for me, I think at
The
this,
Predators, you still have to give up what, $1.70, $1.60 on
yeah,
that?
$1.60 at least.
Yeah.
So
So I
that
mean, that's what I'm saying. This was kind of a hard handicap, right? For
yeah,
me anyway. So go ahead.
the puck, right? Well, that's what I'm saying. I agree. The puck line price almost becomes a little bit too expensive. It's almost a better play, maybe to play it on the money line and just take your chances. Um, that they're going to win the game because you're just trying to pick win or loss. So, anyways, for me, Mindy, I think I'm going to end up taking the over in this game with Nashville and Calgary. The big number at 6.5, but I definitely am leaning over in this one. That's the way I'm going to go, and I'm just going to need some goals to be scored. Obviously, in this one, I know Markstrom's in there. Gerardo, hello, welcome to everyone. Uh, all right, let's continue on. We're getting through this massive card and great comments from everyone here today. Dallas on the road here. They're a big favorite now, 210 in this one at Arizona. Total is now 6 under, as high as 115. So kind of a switcheroo on the juice here with the total going now 6 under 15. It was 6 over 15.
Yeah, and this is another one where, I kind of have the Stars in this one just kind of winning by, the slimmest of margins here. They're 6-3-1. They won their last one out, over the Kings. But, they're notoriously low scorers. Stars, they are 16-4 versus the Coyotes here in the last 21. They're ranked in goals against. I don't necessarily see this one necessarily being a high scoring game here with this one as well. So I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go under that total of 6 here in this one. I think, laying the $2 is too much. Coyotes here. I don't have them, ranked really high here on the puck line. So I'm going to take under 6 goals.
Yeah, Dallas has been the team kind of getting the money on the puck line. I mean, they're 6-3-1, 7-3 on the puck line.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I have the Coyotes, like statistically on the puck line here, but yet I'm still going to have, give up a, minus 150, on that. So I don't have Dallas winning by 2. So go ahead. Sorry.
okay, well then I'll take Arizona on the puck line. What the heck? I mean, look. Don't forget Arizona. They're 3-0 at home on the puck line. So
Mhm.
yeah, they're what can you say? They're in that dumpy little arena, right, with 5,000 people or whatever it is. Dallas has kind of owned this series, but it is an under series too. You mentioned the game staying low, so 3-2 works for me, right? Under 7-18-1 at Arizona in this series. Obviously, it was played in the big arena. Dallas under 3-6-1 this season. I'll take Arizona on the puck line plus 1.5 minus $1.30 here in this one. And Mindy says take the under 6. Couple of games left on this massive NHL card, Anaheim. I
Ducks
think it's going to
versus
be
Canucks.
Gibby here. I think it's going to be Gibby in goal for Anaheim. So let me update that and see Gibson and Demko. Vancouver here minus $1.70 now, 6 over 15.
Yeah, I like the Canucks here. Ducks have won the last two out. They won that close one versus the Sharks in a shootout. Canucks, they're 2-6. But again, it's a team that puts up a lot of goals. They are 18th in goals for, which I get. But the Ducks are, 6-13. Their last 19 versus Pacific here. I'll take the Vancouver Canucks at -170 on the money line.
All right. Mindy says, take Vancouver here in this one and lay that juice against Anaheim. Anaheim just 1-5 on the road so far. For whatever reason, they do very well against Vancouver. We know Anaheim really hasn't been doing much for a number of years here, but for some reason they're 25-10 the last 35 meetings against Vancouver. The under 7-17-3 last 27 meetings. There was some 6.5s out there. I did like that as a premium if it was maybe a pretty good priced 6.5, but I don't know if I can get there now with the main total being about 6 over 15. So I'm just going to have to give it out as a free play on the under. I was heading premium with that one, Mindy. If I could get, maybe 6.5 under 15, I don't think that's the case anymore. So Scott says take the Ducks plus 1.5 tonight. I don't mind that actually. Mindy would still get there. And again, like I said, they really, for some reason, this has been Anaheim's series. I mean, Vancouver, they haven't been great either, but they've probably been a little bit better than the Ducks. So, all right, last game, Florida and San Jose. What can you say? Florida minus, they're down to 205, 6.5 over 15.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the under 6.5 in this one. I don't know. Panthers to me haven't been necessarily, playing great, and then they have them as these, huge favorites versus I think it's a pretty scrappy, San Jose team. The Sharks, they are, ranked second in the NHL in penalty kill percentage. They average about 4 goals here, a game. So I see this one as that, Sharks might be able to, put up a little bit more money. I don't know if I want to take them, on just a money line at plus 180. I like them in this game, but not really sure. So I'll take, I'm going to go ahead and do the under 6.5 in this one.
All right. Mindy says go under 6.5 in the game with Florida and San Jose. And it's 6.5. I think I've got to agree with you here, Mindy. I think this one, I had a lot of 6s in my models. I like San Jose. Look, 3-8 straight up, but 7-5 on the puck line, getting a pretty good price. Plus 1.5, minus 140. I think San Jose looks pretty good at home. But let's take a premium. Go under 6.5. For sure, I think in this one. Florida has won 5 straight at San Jose. Again, they are in the opposite conference, so that's going to be over a few years. So, anyways, Florida 5-4, but just 2-8 on the puck line. So you got San Jose 7-5 on the puck line. Florida 2-8 on the puck line. Maybe you see where I could be headed later with that one, but let's take under, Mindy, as our play, because that's going to give us, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a 5-pack of plays on this 13-game card.
That's right. We got it.
What do we got?
So we got the Hurricanes on the money line, about plus 120. Golden Knights, money line, minus 130. Bruins, Rangers, under 6. The LA Kings, minus 170 on the money line. And then the last game that we covered, the Panthers Sharks, under 6.5 goals.
Well, big card tonight. Let's do it. That's where we're going to have to that's where we're going to have to do our damage. I mean, obviously we have that total in the baseball game, but we got some things we got to clean up off of yesterday, and we'll hope to do that tonight in the National Hockey League, where I think our picks have been, pretty good. I think the NBA's kind of been where we've had a few losses
shaky, I guess.
knocked us down a little bit. So, All right, that's a look at all of today's action except for football. There's one game in football that we're going to look at, and then we're also going to preview right now the early games from Sunday with the 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, 1 Eastern games. But we're going to start with Thursday night football on Amazon Prime. So Al Michaels will be making fun of the matchup if it's a blowout. But is it? Minnie, this is the biggest point spread, I believe, in Thursday night football history.
Is it
Uh,
really? Wow.
that's what someone told me on the little birdie machine that
Okay.
the new guy owns. That he's making everybody work 90 hours a week. I guess it's
Isn't it
you're
like
busy,
86 hours? I mean, who's counting though at that
right?
point?
I mean, I guess you get real busy when you're a executive on the birdie machine and you got to work a bunch of hours. I don't know what they could be doing for 90 hours a week, but nonetheless, they're not filtering out tweets or anything, obviously. So, Butterscotch is already coming in with his numbers. Josh is already coming in with a big tease there.
Right. 7-point teaser there, huh?
Yeah, boy, man, can we get it to 21 somehow? Even later on, Scott says 4 out of 5 Houston losses have been 10 points or less. Give me the 2 touchdowns. But what is Mindy gonna? Yeah, so we got we
It's
got
a
Philadelphia,
surprise,
and
Ramon.
Houston.
It's a surprise.
Philadelphia and Houston. We already talked about it, but it's a different Philadelphia and Houston, and you can make some cases here of I think for this underdog. I mean, Philly is not terrific against the run, and Texans do run the ball. So, anyways, what's going to happen tonight?
Oh, goodness. It's going to be a good one, isn't it? I mean, which one are we going to watch? Which Houston Philadelphia game are you
Well, I
on?
mean, you're gonna have the baseball on the big screen. I mean,
I'm opposite. I always put the football on the big. I got too much, fantasy at stake, Ramon. Come on.
well, I understand. When football's a great aesthetic game, and baseball is something that you can kind of casually keep your eye
Correct.
on, and then when the rally starts,
Or
you know,
commercials. I can just, look, right? Yeah,
but
I mean,
football, you
everyone
never
knows
know.
this Eagles team, they're on fire. 7-0 coming off that 35-13 win over, Pittsburgh. Well, we just kind of talked about the Texans. 1-5-1, lost to the Titans, 17-10 with backup quarterback in there. Over the last game, Texans have averaged 14 points a game, perhaps. They rank in there with those teams like Denver and such that just aren't putting up anything. Eagles putting up quite a few points. They're third in offense. Eagles fourth ranked defense. I always like these defensive teams here when it comes to the NFL. I'm gonna go under 46, Ramon. Unders 4-1. The Eagles' last 5 road games. Unders 5-1. The Texans' last 6 games in November as well. I will take the under.
Yeah, I mean it's Thursday night football, right? I mean, of course it's going to go. I know I've got the wrong total up there, don't I? Right now, I'm
Well, I
pretty
had
sure.
it at 45.5 last night, so I don't know where exactly
Okay,
it sits there.
I thought that's maybe. Let me just take 45 and now. Yeah, I had this graphic loaded up a little bit early, so. In fact, I think it's a great price. I got to be honest with you, Mindy. I mean, to me, I mean, I really I have it considerably lower, and even my low window is probably. I mean, my high window is probably lower than the total. Most of it's said maybe as high as 43. So look, I know the look ahead was a little bit higher, but that's before we knew Houston was not very good. I think here, but. Great comments from the chat there. Josh says primetime games aren't a blowout. I agree. That's the thing about this whole game. I mean, you got Philadelphia having to lay the 2 touchdowns on the short week. Yes, Houston didn't run the ball, and I said they would run the ball effectively last week, but I still think the running game, I think they've got something special there. But Houston knows what they need to do, and they know that they can run the ball. Philly has a little bit of injury situation. The rookie's out, so maybe that'll help the Houston running game a little bit. Latifah says, yeah, the baseball and the football are going to be going up against one another. So, yeah, I think for me, that's the way I'm going to look. I'm going to look for the under. So far this season, Mindy, the totals are 51 and 71 league wide to the under so far. So that's the way the stats going. Even though the numbers were up a little bit last week with some big scores, there were also some very low scores. And the totals were a little bit higher last week as far as the overall, even though the games went slightly under by, I think, one game, the number was actually a little bit higher, 2 points over the average this season. And that was because we had a couple of high scoring games. So I think the Texans are very, very live here, and that's because it's going to be a low scoring game. So getting the 2 touchdowns, 13.5, don't mind buying that 14. I don't care about that. I might do it. But for our show purposes, I think we got to go with 13 or we're not. I'm
Right.
not.
We can't buy it
on the show here. I don't want to give away my premium picks. I think Love Jones was asking about our best picks, and I don't know, Love. We just kind of go over all the picks here, and our best picks we actually sell over at a website. We'll just show you that in a little bit, not to sound like we're a bunch of touts here on the screen, but we are. We've worked very hard to get in this position with Tony'sPicks.com, and we're appreciative of it. But we do sell our best plays over at Tony'sPicks.com, and I'll have a premium in this game. It's not going to be on the total, Mindy, because you and I have a premium play on the total in this game. Thursday Night Football at 45.5. Look, I get it. I mean, Philadelphia, Hurts has been great. He's so great to listen to. It's so refreshing to hear someone with such a professional attitude right now, a guy who is humble in his success. So I don't mind that at all. Josh, thanks for the
thanks for the tip.
Soccer action there today in the Europa action. And so for me, Mindy, under is just fine for me in this one. 45.5. That sounds great, actually. It sounds like a pretty great total for a Thursday night game. Got to be honest there. We can obviously get home with a very, very reasonable score. 24-14, something like that. Kind of sounds like what it could be to me tonight. 35-10. That's what'd you say? 35-10. I don't want it to be that close. Maybe 31 to I don't know. Maybe we're going opposite on the.
I think we are
on the side here. I love Philly. I hope they keep this up. I hope they have a great season. And I don't have to sell you. I mean, I know the circumstances that you might be dealing with by taking this road big road favorite, the Thursday night, the short week, and again. Like I said, the other thing, the biggest point spread in Thursday night history, and you're going to have to do it on the road on a short week. So let's get into
Eagles are strong, my friend.
Fly, Eagles, fly. And let's get into the rest of the games now for Sunday, starting with the early game. These will be just the early games, actually. The Patriots are going to be at home taking on the Colts, and the Patriots are favored here by only 5 now. Was as high as 6.5. Total, right, settling on 40. It's been 39. It's been 41. Right now it's 40.
Well, I think this is going to be very interesting. I mean, this used to be one of my, favorite, Manning Brady matchups, the battles of the two coaches. I mean, just perfect, right? It was the ones that we always looked forward to. And then we now have, a Patriots team that's been a little bit up and down because of this quarterback situation. And the same thing here with the Colts, right? We got a little bit of upheaval here as well. Colts just lost to the Commanders. Patriots beat the Jets. I think this one's going to come down to, probably a defensive game. I don't know. I think Ellinger, he looked pretty good. Completed 73% of his passes. I think Colts are going to come out and be a little bit conservative yet. I think they're going to slow this one down a whole lot. I'm going to take a look at the Colts. I think they can get it done here. Colts are 6-2 against the spread in their last 8, following a straight up loss. I kind of like them in a sneaky play here. I feel like in this one with the Patriots being a little bit, I think, disheveled is kind of how I've seen them play the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I like Sam maybe in this spot. I wish I was getting 6. Wish I was getting 6.5. Whatever I could have had, and we're only getting 5. But maybe it is a field goal game. Indy just 1-7 to the under this year. Look, 9 of the last 10 meetings have gone over between these two, but who cares, right? I mean, that was a different era right now than what we're dealing with Sam Ellinger at quarterback and Mac Jones. You know, for whatever it's worth, I don't know where everybody, stands on the Mac and Zappy situation. Mac is back. There's no doubt until there's a real disaster or injury or whatever. That's a disaster. But again, I think Belichick walked it back and kind of just, said that, Mac was injured. That's why they went back to Zappy there for that little brief stint. So, anyways, yeah, Crush says Ellinger not that good. No, it's not that good. But is Mac Jones the be all end all for New England? Can they really cover? Can they really get there by a touchdown here? Let's go with the Colts, Mindy, as a consensus. Take the Colts +5 on the road at the Patriots. Maybe they're showing some heart.
Right.
Buffalo and the Jets, another big number here. This one just keeps going up, up, up. Everybody loving that Buffalo. The way, who wouldn't? I mean, they're awesome. And the total 47.
Yeah, Bills, 6-1 coming off 27-17 win over the Packers. And what was that total there? 44-ish, 45-ish? Yeah, I mean, the Packers and the Jets are, they weren't so the Jets are 5-3, but suffered that loss, to the Patriots there, 22-17. Bills are first in points allowed. With only 14 points a game. Jets ranked 11th here, only allowing 19. I'm going to take a look at the under. I mean, I feel like if this was kind of an under game here with the Bills and Packers, I don't know, Packers and, Jets. I know the Jets beat the Packers, but I don't consider them as being, that much more great than a Packers team. I'll take the under. It's 5-0 in the Bills last 5 overall, 4-0 in the Bills last 4 versus AFC as well.
Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that the Bills have gone under in 5 straight, and now they've got to go in and take on the Jets. The Jets, what can you say? They can play a little bit of defense. I mean, are they going to have the rookie of the year defensively? I think I've been saying it almost since week 2 or 3, and then you got me on the sauce. And so,
Right.
he's an impact player. I mean, the Buffalo, look, they strike with that big pass. I mean, they've looked great. I know we could talk about Allen all day long, but isn't it amazing? You always make that joke, Mindy, about, only 10 people on the planet can play professional football quarterback. And, all these guys that end up getting drafted, and sometimes they have their question marks, especially when they're drafted from a school like Wyoming, and maybe even show a little bit of struggles early. But then once they it's hard to find an elite quarterback. And Allen, he's one of the best in the game.
Right.
And, how many times have maybe teams given up too early on somebody or something like that? And maybe they have, because, Allen wasn't exactly, look, he's got the physical tools, so maybe you're going to stick with a guy a little bit longer. But man, when he gets running with the ball, it's different than when, right? It's different than
Derrick Henry coming at you.
Jalen Hurts is running or Kyler Murray. I mean, this is different, man. Get out of the way. He's really awesome to watch, and boy, just love it. So, anyways, Mike is coming in with some numbers here. Says Jets look good. A division game. They're 5-3. I don't disagree with you, Mike. You don't have to subscribe to my service this week, buddy. I think we're going to be. I'm going to be looking at the Jets possibly here with all all the points, but kind of want to wait. I mean, open 10.5. It's now 12.5. Mindy and I are going to take under 47. Another consensus play in the NFL. And Mindy, it's hard. I talk about, I've been talking about our last 2 days here with the mornings team. We've had, two very subpar days, but we'll go take a look at the website before we get out of here. Take a look at our NFL record, which
Right.
we're hitting, I think, 67.
If we're doing something right, it's that.
67%, I believe, this year. I'll check again because I don't know if I even checked the numbers from this week, but pretty, I think we're hitting about 67%, which is awesome.
Right.
So hope, so these NFL picks, when we're on them, I think we're coming in with a little bit more confidence right now than, maybe in those NBA picks yesterday. So sorry, I keep bagging on that a little bit. So, all right. Coming up now with the Dolphins and the Bears here. And, I don't know, maybe it's a case of where we're looking at what happened. Dolphins had the good effort. The Bears, I think everyone was really pleasantly surprised with their effort. They got blown out, quite frankly, if you look at the final score. But the way they performed, they got a few brownie points, and then they made these trades this week. So where does it all stand?
Yeah, I just think that, on the surface, this spread's too low for me. I like the Dolphins here. The Bears still aren't showing me a lot of consistency. At least they're kind of moving Justin Fields, I think, out, more of, bootleg situation, pass option, that sort of thing. But again, I feel like he's going to always be down. And when he does that, then they're letting him drop back. And that's when he runs into trouble. That's when he throws the interceptions here. Dolphins had a nice outing versus the Lions. Bears got beat up real good with versus the Cowboys. Any sort of pressure that you could, put on Fields, it pretty much blew up in his face. Dolphins, they've beat the Bears on the road 3 straight times. Tua, 382 yards a game. Fields 151 passing. I like the Dolphins. To me, like I said, I would take the Dolphins here to about 8 or 9. I feel like they're really going to take it to them here, this one. Dolphins 4-1 the last 5 between these ones as well.
Scotch says take the over here in this one. He likes what Tua is doing. Maybe he liked what he also saw, the fact that the Bears were able to score so many points against the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys were kind of in the lead there. So, anyways, I think for me, this one, Mindy, I think we're going to have a disagreement. Chicago's 3-0-1 against the spread, off of a spread loss. Chicago, they might be 3-5, but they are 2-1 at home, and I think the spread's just going a little bit too high for me. I love my home dogs, so
right.
Take Chicago. Mindy and I are going to go heads up in this one.
Arm wrestle match here.
We got some consensus agreements out there, and we got one we're going to go against here with this one. Saving the total. I'm not going to give it away, but I think I got a premium for you for the subscribers over at Tony's Picks. Minnesota and Washington. Well, we know one thing about Washington. They're going to be worth about $6 billion when they go up for sale soon. And Mindy and I are going to try to pick a bunch of winners so we can buy the Washington Commanders and change their name to something we like. And but Minnesota attracting all kinds of attention. It opened 2.5, now 3.5. Look, they got a great record, but they don't cut. They have a great record, but they're sub 500 against the spread. Mindy, what do you think?
Well, sure. I mean, that's what the Vikings have been notoriously. Again, it's the issues with Kirk Cousins. I think he's playing better. It's one of those. They're still not really spreading the ball around a whole lot, if you ask me. But I think they're going to be good enough to beat the Commanders here at home. The 6-1 Vikings team, they're 6-1 for a reason. They're putting wins together. I mean, they haven't kind of been in this position in a long time without having, the Packers breathing down their neck here also. I think they're playing a little bit more relaxed, comfortable. But yeah, Vikings offense, they're 9th in scoring, putting up the points, and Commanders 27th. Vikings 6-2 against the spread in the last 8 games in week 9, especially. I like them to cover the spread here in this one. I really like what they've been doing with the running game here as well. I'm not sure the Commanders can kind of step up to the plate when it comes to that defensive line.
All right, Mindy says take Minnesota, and Crush says he's going to be in with us when we buy the Washington Commanders. Crush, I said that I wanted to actually name on our show. I said I think I wanted the nickname the Red Tails to honor the great Tuskegee Airmen. It incorporates the whole social conscious thing. It still leaves a possibility of using the tail feather a little bit and everything, and it also brings the military into it. But we ended up with the Commanders, which to me sounds like just talking about the president or the commander of a military and everything. So Scotch says Vikings are a quiet, strong team. He likes them to cover that road number. I get scared laying those points on the road. I'm going to have to go under in this one. Mindy, Washington has gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. Minnesota's going over, no doubt about it. And 6 of the last 7 meetings have gone over. But we know Washington right now, this offense not necessarily getting much done. But like I said, Minnesota 6-1 straight up, 3-4 against the spread. But for me, this total's been dropping, open 44.5 down to 43.5. That's the way I'm going to go before it gets too lower. And I'm going to take under in this one in Minnesota and Washington. Minnesota for Mindy laying the points. All right, got 4 more here. And, well, you talk about those Packers and
the Lions.
Yeah, the Packers and another road favorite here in division, but we know the Packers kind of dominate the Lions. I mean, okay, maybe the Lions win on Thanksgiving every 5 or 10 years, but still it's the Packers. They're not looking great on the road, but Detroit on the definitely in a skid right now. What do you think?
Well, the Lions just don't have any sort of defense. If they had something, I could say that they're going to come out at home in this game. I just don't see it. I like the Packers here. I know they've lost to, their last 4 here. But yet the Lions, they're not doing a whole lot better. They're allowing teams to put up quite a few points. Packers, they got a lot to, I think they got a lot more to play for here than the Lions. Also a little bit more of a pride thing. I'll take the Packers here.
All right. And yeah, I think for me, when I look at this, look at that total 49.5, right? For me, look, it's a division game, right? I usually think I'd immediately go under. I think this is the spot where we see a crazy one. I think we're going to go for 8 touchdowns here in this one. I'm going to go on the over with my free pick in this game. Mindy, Detroit 5-2 to the over so far. Also 5-2 in the series, last 7 in Detroit. We know Green Bay has struggled. They actually lost, I believe, 5 straight. I'm just thinking of Detroit, thinking of some of those Thanksgiving games, but those get a little weird. Those Thanksgiving games. So, I don't know, but Green Bay laying those road points. Look, it opened as high as 5, so there is some discount to laying the points there that you are minus 3.5 on the road. But like I said, Green Bay just 1-3 on the road so far. It does worry me. I'll go over 49.5, and Mindy will say take Green Bay, lay 3.5. All right, speaking of road teams, the Chargers, they're on the road laying points against Atlanta. The Chargers actually, it's that weird thing with LA right now because everyone kind of makes fun of the LA teams, especially, the Rams, the Chargers. The road teams seems to have more fans in the stands. So the Chargers kind of get away from LA and play a little bit better on the road. Here they're going against an Atlanta team that is one of the best spread teams in the league.
That is true until they messed up the spread last week, right? But the Chargers, hopefully they've gotten a little bit healthy here with this bye week. That's kind of what I'm, how I'm kind of looking at this. The 4-3 Chargers lost to the Seahawks last time out. Again, Falcons, beat the Panthers, but didn't cover that 4-point spread. Chargers 2-1 on the road, like you said, playing a little bit better there. Also won their last couple here versus the Falcons. Falcons giving up just an absolute ton of yards to a Panthers team, with PJ Walker. I mean, I know he's decent, been around the league for a while, but that's a lot to give up. And especially, kind of making some mistakes there when you don't need them to. The road team is 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 meetings between these two teams. I will take the Chargers here, Ramon.
Well, I know Atlanta can probably be able to run here, but yeah, the Chargers, mentioned they're 200, they're actually 3-0 against the spread on the road. You have good scoring offenses against bad scoring defenses. So maybe this one will end up another high scoring game. It might be a little bit too high for even this one might be a little bit too high for me to get totally involved. And I always, kind of staying away from those road favorites, but this is what I'm willing to get involved with you. I think the Chargers right now, maybe they're starting to find it a little bit. They're supposed to be better than they are, right? Atlanta 6-2 against the spread. I don't necessarily like getting in the way of something like that. I know what you said about last game. Maybe they're coming back down to earth a little bit. I'll take the Chargers with you as a consensus play and lay those points on the road at Atlanta.
Sounds good.
All right, those Carolina Panthers. Look at this line here. Very interesting. I mean, I definitely think you would have seen Cincinnati if Carolina wasn't, playing such nice ball right now. But there's nothing wrong with the Bengals, right? Talked about, really maybe them rounding into form a little bit or still having that championship potential in the AFC, but down to 7. It opened as high as 9.5. Total 42.5 off of an opener of 44.5.
Yeah, Bengals 4-4 lost to the Browns on Halloween there. While the Panthers we just talked about, lost to the Falcons, had plenty of opportunities to win that game. Panthers, they're only putting up 19 points a game. Even after that victory there, putting up 34 points. But I'm going to look to the under 6-1, the Bengals last 7 games, following a straight up loss. Also 4-1, the Panthers last 5, following a straight up loss with them as well. I expect this Bengals team to still maybe struggle a little bit, still have a little bit of a hangover from this last time out. And the Panthers, I think they'll kind of come back down to reality versus a nice Bengals defensive team.
Yeah, let's not forget Carolina's just 2-6, right? Teams are combined 5-10-1 to the under, right? In Carolina, 0-3 on the road right now. I think under is the way to go. I had a premium play marked down at 44.5 or even 44. 42.5 has cost us a few points, but let's get on it as a consensus play here. Got to take one thing or the other. I like the under here. I was really kind of thinking under maybe even lower than 41. So that sounds fine to me. Let's get another consensus move in there for Sunday's early action and round it up with the last game. And the Raiders, they're on the road here. Maybe
the Raiders.
Maybe they'll get a shutout again. I mean, now we know that it's a little bit different than the Saints, than the Jaguars, but we'll see what you have to say on this one, Minnie. But the Raiders only 1.5 point favorites at Jacksonville. I don't know what to make of that necessarily, but that wouldn't have been the line a few weeks ago.
Yeah, what happened to the Raiders, Ramon? I mean, I know a lot of folks here, friends of mine, they thought the Raiders were really going to give, say the Chiefs and such a run for their money this year. I don't know where it all went wrong. Maybe it's, just a lack of consistency on the wide receiver. We thought Devontae was going to be, the golden ticket. Instead they're coming off one of the worst games, being shut out by the Saints 24-0. Jaguars have lost 5 straight, don't get me wrong, but it's been by 8 points or less, with their last one just being that kind of, I think, flub to Denver, throwing that interception in the end zone. But that's why, they're still a bad team. They're making those mistakes. And until they get that fixed, they're not going to be anything but mediocre here. But I think they're going to rely on their defense. These Jaguars, I'm going to take them in this game here, Ramon. I'll take the Jaguars at home. They're 5-1-1 against the spread the last 7 games in Week 9. I think they're at least headed, right now in the right direction. Raiders, I don't know what they're doing.
I'll join you. I mean, I said at the beginning, like when the Raiders moved to Las Vegas, I said even Mark Davis can't screw this up. But I don't know. Maybe he has. Here's the problem, though. The Raiders on the road. They're 0-4 on the road, right? I mean, they can't get anything done on the road. So, yeah, Jacksonville is in a bad spot themselves, but they've actually won 5 of the last 7 meetings against the Raiders. It's actually been a good series for them. So,
Right.
Jacksonville just 2-6 straight up and against the spread. Nothing special here, but to me, it looks like the line is kind of a giveaway to me. On the surface, would think the Raiders could still be a field goal favorite here. Will they take the public money this week? Nobody. Wouldn't think anybody still wants the Jaguars. I know they might look at that.
I don't think anyone wants the Jaguars. That's good.
Well, I mean,
no, I know what you mean. Like, yeah,
27-0, and then you're playing the back-to-back East Coast games. That's another, problem I have with a team that doesn't play well on the road at all. And now they're going to be on the back-to-back East Coast game. I'm playing at New Orleans and then at Jacksonville. You just don't like playing a team. Maybe the Raiders didn't play last week because they thought, well, we'll at least get one of the 2 games when we play Jacksonville. But watch out for that, right? I mean, I don't know. Butterscotch is on it with us. Mike is on it with us. Mike, nice to have you here. Welcome. Nice to see you. So yeah, let's do it, Mindy. So we got a 5-pack in the morning games. That's right? Yeah, that'll be a 5-pack.
Yeah, we got the Colts +5, Bills, Jets under 47, Chargers -3, Panthers, Bengals under the 42.5, and the Jaguars +1.5. And if you want the late games, you'll have to come back on Sunday morning to get our picks in those late slate of games. So looking forward to that one too. Should be a good card here for those late afternoon plays.
Okay, I'm going to head over real quick to Tony'sPicks.com because that's why we're here, trying to promote our premium picks, which are absolutely our best picks. We do sell our best picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages, short-term, long-term, it doesn't matter. You can use that promo code TonyT at checkout every single time to save 20%. So the prices that you see, yes, maybe these are, I always like to say, high-end boutique sports picks, Mindy, but we do have our $15 best bet picks and our $15 discount and introductory offers and our multi-game packs as well over there at Tony's Picks. You see everyone is loaded up already with the action for Thursday. Ben's got a 3-pack. Daniel, who's been doing well, 5-pack. Collins had the big day. 3 picks there. Tony's got a 3-pack. And Mindy, once again, you've got a couple of, you got a big 7-pack for Thursday action, huh?
I put all of them in one. You can get them all my plays, all 7 of them. You can grab them. Reasonable price there, $45. So yeah.
And Brandon, our newest capper at Tony's Picks, who's definitely put together some. He's got 5 games on this 13 game NHL card. So take a look at our pick ticker. There you can get in on all the latest games as well. Everybody's got their plays loaded up for tonight. We'll see what happens. But also, I promised I wanted to look at the leaderboard to pump us back up a little bit, Mindy, after a couple of rough nights. Well, we talked about the NFL, and I just wanted everyone to take a look really so far. So take a look over at the picks here. Morning's team 30-15 since we started this show, Mindy. That's 67%. That's terrific. Good job. So we've got a 5-pack. You guys got them for free right here. These 5 plays that we have given out here, we don't know. They could win. They could lose. But these are the plays that we enter into the system to sell. If you miss our show, you can pick up our picks for a small fee, if you will. You can subscribe to the picks so you never miss a consensus pick. And our NFL picks 30 and 15 so far this season, Mindy, since we've started the show. I think we started in week 2, right? Or we've been doing the
Something like
whole,
that.
was it the whole, we done every NFL week?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I can't remember
It was
now.
right there. Okay. I thought it was right there. It was either week 1 or week 2. They gave us this show, and we've gone 30 and 15 in the NFL. So, and over the last 30 days, 20 and 8, which is even better. So we're hot in the NFL, despite our 2-day losing streak here with the morning steam. So I just want to point that out. Just trying to pump it up a
Yeah,
little
I mean,
bit.
we all know we have to put sports betting in perspective, right? I mean, we're rooting for that 60-70% mark, so we have to keep it in perspective sometimes that we may lose 4 days out of 10. So we don't like to, of course, but we have to remember that in the long run, we're going to be able to take advantage of Vegas and these lines with our knowledge and expertise on the games.
Mike says he's got a 5-pack, a 7-pack, and he's going for it. Look, I tried to come in with a 7-pack today in the NBA last night. Ended up going 3 and 4, and I felt lucky to get that. So, but I don't mind putting together. Hey, volume is key for both Mindy and I. I think you're going to see a little bit different approach with Mindy and I than maybe some of the other handicapping sites where maybe those guys are good enough to give out 3 plays a day, have some sales with all due respect, because we're here promoting our picks. But I guess if I could go 3-0 every day, I'd probably do that. But I need a little bit of volume to generate. And the key for me with volume is higher volume can lead to higher profits. So I want to thank everyone also for joining us in the chat today as well. Great interaction today. Might have been one of our best days for some of the commentary in there, Mindy. No doubt about it. So appreciate everyone joining us. Let's just shout him out. Mike's here. He's touting his plays. I don't mind.
Be proud of those wins. That's right.
I don't mind that. Again, Tony's looking for cappers. You could actually go to the Tony's Picks website and actually sign up. That's what we did, and we're thankful for the opportunity. And look at what we've done. Putting up some pretty good records there. So let me just run down everybody who was here. Also, Mike, nice to have you. Rem Most, catch you in the chat across the street. Scott was here today as well. Crush was with us. Josh Stern here with us as well. Don't forget, Latifa was leading us through the hockey. Crush was in the chat today. I think I might have got everybody there. Mindy, do you think? Yeah, I think I shouted out everybody. Oh, Gerardo, if you're still out there, Young Shard, Love Jones was here as well. Don't forget, gosh, Love Jones was with us as well. So
Nick Rowan, Mike, it's okay if you're only
but
I mean, I think it's fine, Mike, if you're only playing $5, $10, $15 per game. Like, that doesn't matter. All you're doing is you're looking to increase that bankroll as you go. So if you're at, $5 units right now and you increase it to $5.50 units next month, I mean, just to build that and build that to build that, then one day suddenly you're like, oh, I got a $5,000 bankroll and I bet $100 per game. So I think you should be proud of that. I mean, that's kind of why I kind of got into this business, was to help those that didn't have, the bigger bankrolls sometimes to be successful. And I think as long as you, are disciplined, you can do really well, sports handicapping and go on lots of vacations with your winnings.
That's Sebastian, Matt D as well in here. Yeah, Mindy, Blake also was here. So I think that now I finally got everybody. Wow, that was the most I've ever had to shout out. So thank you, everybody. And, one of the things that people always say, and we'll get out of here, Mindy, we're a great show, no doubt about it. And one man's pittance is another man's fortune. So there's no doubt about that. Whatever you feel comfortable with, right. We don't want to go overboard. So again, that's the thing about being a tout too. I mean, for me, look, we like to bet. Like I said, I mean, if I don't have a premium or a free pick, on something, I'm probably going to have a bet there. But the reason they say, oh, why do you tout? Why don't you just make the plays yourself? For me, the rush of my premium plays far outweighs the amount of money that I feel comfortable betting with. When you try to judge at how much you're betting, especially a volume player like myself, where all the plays are kind of going to be about the same amount when I'm betting money. But to me, the thrill, the rush of being there for someone and accepting the responsibility of the homework that I'm doing, knowing that someone doesn't have the time. Look, everyone here is a fan. They all watch the games. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I don't see anybody coming in the chat saying, I'm looking for a return on my investment. And blah, blah. They want to watch the games and have the excitement. And a lot of times people are busy in their lives, so they rely on other people, whether the shows on YouTube or the touts or Twitter or whatever. And to me, I get more of a thrill of sweating the plays that I put out as premium picks, more than so than betting the betting cash on the games. So to me, that's part of the excitement of being a tout, if you will, a handicapper on YouTube. So, and we appreciate everyone here on the chat. We'll catch you tomorrow. Mindy, good job. We'll be back, with more college football tomorrow, or not tomorrow.
Saturday. Tomorrow's our sleep-in day, so Ramon can be fresh for his sports writing.
Ramon needs some time. Yeah, Ramon needs a day off, so I'm just old. I should be on the two old ladies. Can we get it? Can we change it with you and Tiffany and me? It can be
the two old ladies I bet and Ramon.
Old man, 3 old people. I don't know. All right, thanks everybody. We appreciate you so much, and today's numbers were so good. Just so pleased about that. So,
good luck, everyone.
For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.